So I noticed today while looking for content to dangle in front of you like carrots, um, that Steven Crowder has done something strange. He posted on social media, "It's time for a hashtag clean slate." And it appears that Steven Crowder has completely scrubbed all of his social media. It's all gone. It's still there, but all of the posts have been deleted. And so that was interesting stuff.
Insiders fighting for
So I went to go see if he had posted any videos about it, and he has. So skip ahead here. Here we go. And I right away, first of all, the video player on Rumble is ridiculous. Second of all, he seems I only watched some of this. I didn't watch the entire thing. He seems nervous as hell, chat. He seems like something is deeply wrong. And I don't know that Steven Crowder has done anything criminal on his social media or anything. But I do feel like he's acting like a sussy little baka. And we're going to take a look at this video, and you guys can confirm if my vibe check is correct. All right, here we go.
Forced spending time with
Specifically, his voice is trembling and he's breathing extraordinarily heavily.
Hey, fancy seeing you here. Glad to be with you. I know this is not a normal show. We kind of just decided to drop this. Let me sort of set the stage here. Hashtag Clean Slate is something that we've talked about. It's something that I'd mentioned before we went on Christmas break. And it's something that's been kind of heavy on my heart really from your feedback, from a lot of people actually. And then it was reinforced spending time with
like he's breathing heavily and his breath is trembling, right? Like that's not just me.
Human beings in real life over Christmas and New Year's. And I'll get to the schedule in a second. You know, the show is coming back on the 22nd, the Daily Show. And
oh, it's true. Maybe he's scared because he doesn't have his safety guns.
Next week, Monday, we have a Black and White and the Gray issues and an apologetics episode with Alex Jones. A lot of stuff happening here in the next week, but that's not really what I want to talk about right now. Clean Slate is an initiative that we're starting here. And I ask that you consider joining us. Let's start with this. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I feel like the divorce proceedings went against him at the moment, and he is going through, I don't know, his 5th midlife crisis.
I mean, what is everyone doing with our lives here and how we use these tools? You're watching this probably on one of the platforms, hopefully Rumble or Mug Club, maybe YouTube. But you may, at one point, you would see a clip on Instagram. And by God, hopefully that 10 seconds gets into that timeline, along with chicks dancing in yoga pants, selling you products that they don't use to develop a body you won't have and live a lifestyle that you'll never live. And we're feeding this machine. This is the feedback that I get from so many of you is you feel like you're in a rat race. You feel like a hamster on a wheel.
That's capitalism, baby. That's yes. That you are describing what capitalism forces us to do. You're describing the results of the coercion of capital.
And it used to be once upon a time. This is kind of the fundamental change I think that's taken place in this country and really across.
It used to be better.
People used to create content, or people used to use social media. Used to create the content and hopefully reach the people who they felt it served. It was relevant to them. Now we live in a world where that's not the business. As a matter of fact, you're discouraged from that. And you're discouraged as a consumer from using these platforms that way. We now have people who
by the way, I don't think this is true. I don't think social media is discouraging you from using it in that way. What it's doing is maximizing the amount of time you spend on social media so that they can make money. Because the longer you are using, you're scrolling through Twitter, the more ads you see. The longer you're on Facebook, the more ads you see. Like, this is capitalism. This is part of what the enshittification of products is like. That's what this is. You're just upset that capitalism sucks ass. But they can't say that because obviously Crowder's, well, I don't know if Crowder's backed by any billionaire interests anymore. I bet he wish he was.
People who aggregate content that they didn't make to try and reach an audience they don't care about through feeding a machine, which we call an algorithm. And all that means is it's an artificial brain. It's not even human.
Okay, this is as far as I got. I got this far, and I was just like, I need to share this. I need to share this with you guys. Algorithms aren't brains. They aren't brains. They're just active formulas and data sets. They're not even human. Yeah, no shit, they're algorithms.
And it determines what you see and what you consume. This is why you feel like you're stuck in a rat race. It's an entire industry of appealing to an artificial brain that doesn't even exist. Let me just kind of break this down for you too, and something to think about. Social media.
No, algorithms aren't even metaphorically brains. No.
Is a term that people use. And I want to get into how this is a tool, right? Tools are meant to serve you. That's not where we are right now. And I'll just let you know right off the bat here, Clean Slate, if you go to my Instagram or my Twitter right now, everything is gone. I've wiped everything. A little secret, a lot of journalists do this at New York Times, at Washington Post, because they want to evade accountability. We're doing this that hopefully you can follow suit, and we will move forward using these platforms as the tools that were designed to serve us, not you serving them.
It's interesting that he leads with, I didn't delete my social media to avoid accountability. That is an odd thing to lead with here, I think. The first thing he says after announcing he deleted all of his stuff is that journalists use it to avoid accountability, but not me. No, sir. Yeah, I feel like something is happening with his divorce. I don't know that for 100%, but like that is the vibe I get from this. Like mixed with like how he's acting like a sussy little baka.
Let me ask you about social media. Social. When you're on social media, when you're scrolling through TikTok, when you're scrolling through Instagram.
Wait. Real quick. I need to go pee-pee. Hi, definitely not a male of female. It's a retarded ale. I don't think I could dunk on you harder than you've already dunked on yourself by trying to force that joke. I don't think there's anything I can say to like dunk on you harder in the eyes of everyone watching than just repeating what you just said. Like, holy shit. You're a funny little dude.
When you're looking at nothing but YouTube Shorts, do you feel particularly social? Let me ask you this. Do you often find yourself using social media when you're in a room with the people you love who love you? You ever leave Instagram or TikTok, any of these places after an hour, and feel better for having done it? It's a genuine question, and it's something that I hear from everyone about on a regular basis. Let me kind of give you an analogy, because this happened to me. Social media, these platforms, this device that is constantly bombarding you, and by the way, collecting your information, It's like being...
You know, it is weird that he's making a hand gesture for a phone when he has an iPad in front of him. But, okay.
At a party. You ever been at a party and there's someone there and you have a bunch of your friends, your family, and there's someone who doesn't quite pick up on the social cues and they won't let you go and you want to end the conversation, but you can't because you want to spend time with the people around you who you've come to see? That's the device in your hand. You don't really want to be attached to it, but it won't let you go. Only it's a machine. It's a machine that doesn't care about you. And this is the thing, working in the industry, I know a lot of you use it.
Like, this is weird. I feel like if you wanted to make this point, you could make it a lot less breathlessly.
To stay in touch with families, and great. And these are tools that I absolutely believe are pivotal that you can use going into an election. I just don't believe that that's where we are right now. And there needs to be a change of course before we get to the point that there's no turning back. We have to get out of these social media ghettos and the reliance on them. We'll hear this though in the industry side. You got to be there. You need more. You need more reels. You need more clips. You have to do it. You have to do it.
You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about Steven Crowder deleting all of his social media and just like kneecapping his ability to spread his content. I'm excited about Steven Crowder recklessly embracing mediocrity and like anonymity by torpedoing his entire project like this. I applaud him for this self-destructive business decision.
You have to do it if you want to remain relevant, if you want to remain competitive. Competitive for what? Competitive for what? For 10-second views in a timeline where people don't even remember where it came from? Or what they learned or what it meant?
Yeah, I do wonder if like there's something coming about his divorce. Like Discovery happened and Raw Story is working on something, or Mediaite, you know?
It's very different. You know, they used to say that TV was going to rot your brain. And just to be clear, this show, 20-second daily show, you want to know? Watch the show. This show is a time capsule. Something happens to me, I would say, show my kids who their father was. Show them the show.
What? Steven Crowder's friends should probably go check on him, dude. Is this like this? Okay, this suddenly took a very sinister turn.
But it's a program that's designed for you. And a lot of the things that we discuss, for example, Gerald doing an apologetics episode with Alex Jones, that'll be going up next week. The algorithm, the artificial machine would tell you, you don't want to see it. I don't agree. You let me know. You let the AI know if you want to see it. Do you realize that if I listen to these consultants, if I listen to these firms that exist now to tell you exactly how to profit off of new...
Now, to be clear, his show is still up. Like, he didn't delete the YouTube videos or, like, his Rumble videos, but, like, all the social media is gone.
New media content. To be clear, there's a business, and the model is create nothing because it costs money, it costs resources to create something, but profit off of everything. Clip someone else's stuff and distribute it.
Okay. Wait, part of this is he's been defeated by Media Matters, folks. He's been defeated by Media Matters, like, clipping his show and being like, yeah, he's saying anti-Semitic and racist things. And now he's crying about it. He's crying about the fact that he's held accountable for the things he says and does. Oh, that's terrible, bud.
And hopefully you appeal to the algorithm. But let me explain to you the difference between doing a full-length program or, for example, using these social media platforms as tools. You know, when I was a kid, and they would say TV would rot your brain, as an example.
Oh, Steven Crowder is that stupid.
But it was different. If you went to a live show, you bought a ticket, you were there, you were sharing an experience with people. I can remember as a kid...
He did the same thing last year after the Daily Wire scandal? Yeah, but he didn't make a big deal about it. which makes it seem to me right now like something's up. Like the vibes in this video, like how he's like breathing hard and like his voice is shaking, to me indicates he just got some very bad news. And this is him trying to get ahead of something.
Kid, my dad would usually tape it because it was past my bedtime, staying up with him the next day after watching David Letterman, or if there was something really funny on Saturday Night Live, or he would show me these films that he grew up with. Right? We would sit around and watch it together, and then turn it off, and usually talk about what it was that we watched. And we felt better usually watching something together. It actually did help build community and
yeah, it does kind of feel like he's trying to isolate his audience from the potential fallout of something by getting them off of social media.
Conversation, same thing. If you radio, you turn it on. DVD, VHS, Blu-ray, whichever one. Maybe you're a Betamax guy. I don't know. You'd pop it in, you'd watch something, you'd move on. Same thing even when YouTube started out. You subscribed to somebody, you saw the content, and then you could discuss it. That's not what happens now. Who you subscribe to and what you say you want to watch is largely irrelevant because of an artificial brain telling you.
You guys know there's a tab on like YouTube and a tab on like Twitter and stuff that you can click that just shows you who you follow and like who you subscribe to. Like you can just click a button and fix this problem.
What it is that you need to see. The difference between you controlling the devices, between...
Yeah, but the thing is, Troy, even if it is him selling his next grift, this is a weird way to sell it because it seems uncharacteristically desperate. Like, usually he would be putting on a tougher face on this, and he's just... Like, even the fact that he can't find a way to spin this in a tough way indicates to me that he is, like, he's struggling with something, you know?
Between you turning things on that you want to watch and using it to actually help build your...
Like, this is him putting on a face he would normally, like, run away from. So it feels like it's coming from a different location than a different point of origin, I guess, than what his usual go-to grift method has been.
Your community is very different from a device that is bombarding you nonstop with a default setting of notifications and a...
Yeah, I don't think deleting your posts resets your algorithm, especially because... And here's the weird part, right? He's still liking posts. Like, if you're liking posts and all of your likes are still intact, you're still not going to be seeing the stuff from the algorithm that, like, you necessarily, like, follow people to see, you know? Like, you are still being fed content by the algorithm based on these likes. So I don't necessarily buy exactly what he's selling here.
Bing, 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 while it reads your face, your thumbprint, and your preferences so that they can sell you to... Think about this for a second. When I say...
Oh, the bravado was always hollow, but, like, the fact that he's not even trying to put it on is interesting.
They sell you. This isn't just some cynical thing. Again, why do you feel so unhappy? So many... We have a mental...
You can... Ravenous... I think he did a song about Elliot Page, or like about like sexually assaulting like a trans man into being like straight or something. It was something along the lines of that. It was like a parody of a like a Christmas song, holiday song.
Mental health crisis, I guess we should say, that we've never had in this country. And we have more access to information than ever before.
Hey, trans girl, Jade.
You really should be able to become more educated now for no money, but certainly less than at any point in history. You should be
Based Steven Crowder advocating for state-funded college education. Let's go.
able to be connected to people, your family, your friends, more than ever before, because you don't need to pay the money for a long-distance call or get on a plane. Right? This was supposed to create accessibility, but people are more isolated than ever. Why do you feel that way? Let me tell you why. Let's say YouTube, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, T. Smith, I think I'm agreeing with you. I agree that like his algorithm doesn't matter. And what he's trying to do is to get his followers off of social media so they don't immediately abandon ship when something breaks, when some kind of news breaks. So like I really agree with that, you know? I think there is something motivating him out of fear.
What's their capital? Eyeballs, ears, you. How do they make money? Sponsors.
Attention is currency in the marketplace of ideas? Where have I heard that before?
Ads. They're selling you to the highest bidder. When you get a ding and 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 read your face and thumbprint scan, what's your preference? You are the product they are selling.
Why you oofing me? Why you oofing me?
You're just a means to an end for them to make money. And I say this as a free enterpriser. That's why you feel miserable. This is not about serving you. This is not a tool like a radio, like a television, like a hammer.
What? Social media is not a tool because it's a computer program? What? Are you kidding me? Look, Peter Coffin did some good like little documentaries, and then he went completely off the wall crazy. All right?
You are a tool to them. They don't serve you, you are serving them. And it's a really scary thing. It's a really scary time in history when you take that and then you also extrapolate what we know about elections.
Like, his voice is shaking. Like, he's breathing heavily. He's talking about, like, if something happens to me, like, show my kids who I was. Like, he's talking about, like, how it's such a scary time right now, but, like, there's nothing really scary going on right now for conservatives anyway. A lot of conservatives right now feel like they're winning. This is a weird thing.
What we know about the lockdowns, what we know about COVID. But it's really, really hard to identify that when you're so far gone because you've been convinced that you like something you didn't even care about because, boom, it was a 10-second view. It was a 10-second view. And all of a sudden you're down a rabbit hole. And hey, your kids are right there. Your family is right there. There's nothing wrong.
You know, I think maybe the fact that you paid less attention to your family probably worked in their favor, Stephen. Given the fact that your wife had to flee the house after you threatened to do violence on her.
With consuming media, there's something really wrong with the biggest corporations that have ever existed, more powerful than governments, building their business model off of your inability to turn it off.
That's just capitalism, Stephen. Capitalists literally like jizz their pants over the idea of like being able to profit off of people against their will. Like that's what gets a business hard in the morning, all right?
And then you have the inability to teach people truth from fiction. And then you have to get into this rat race, like we've talked about. You feel like a hamster
Oh, maybe he's scared because he's coming out as a socialist. Ooh.
on a wheel? Yeah, because you got it. I got to know what's going on. I got to know what's going on. Hey, do me a favor. Just try for a couple of days not doing it and also proactively looking for news articles, staying in the know. Do you really need to be in these social media ghettos where 4 companies, 3 really, control all of the information out there? And does it make your life better? Does it make any of you happier? So that's why we're starting the Clean Slate initiative. And if you actually go to louderwithcrowder.com/clean slate, there are the instructions there. If you want to take part, and I want to be clear about what it is that you do, and an option B, because I understand that this is pretty severe. We've gone through, I guess, a digital suicide machine, as it were. I consider it a rebirth. We're not deleting.
You know, this is the second time he's mentioned or alluded to suicide in this video. But here's the, Step 1, delete Twitter. Delete Instagram. Wait, there's a program called Redact? How long has this been around? I wonder if this just came out. I wonder if Steven has like some sort of deal with them. That's a very specific thing to like delete things from Twitter specifically. Delete Instagram. Which, by the way, I believe you can delete all of the stuff on your Twitter. You can delete Facebook. Radical Maniac, thank you very much for subscribing. Then delete Facebook, go to your... So, interesting. You're deleting just the posts. Isn't there an option to delete just posts on Twitter? Also, thank you, Radical Maniac. And now we're up to 59 subs. Just need 10 more. One more to get more of our subathon content. Let's see here.
These platforms, but especially as we go into an election season, we're hitting the reset, saying, okay, what kind of a legacy do we want to leave?
Delete
And
all
what
pictures
kind of a
of Ron.
change do we want to impact? And any of you out there want to have the AI brain determine what it is that you consume and who you are based on things that you were posting in maybe 2009 when the platform was entirely different from what it is now? We're not saying delete everything. We're saying delete the content so that you can start fresh. And if enough of you do this, it'll throw their algorithms for a loop, and you get to start with a clean slate. It's rare that you get to do that. It's a bigger risk here right now for us because we know that we're...
Yeah, no, I mean, like, this is great. I love it. Yeah, conservatives, throw away your social media accounts.
This is a media company, and it's gone on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. At some point, that takes a little bit longer. So if you go to louderwithcrowder.com/clean slate, if this sounds like you, and you were thinking, I need a change, I'm getting sucked in. Maybe, and by the way, there are resources for this too, maybe you're addicted. This happens with a lot of people. They just cannot get off of it even if they want to. This is a step. You can clear your timelines and put up one post, whatever post it is that you want to put up, so that when people go to your profiles, this is what they see, this is what defines you, and include the hashtag clean slate so that hopefully other people do it. That's what it is. Now, if you don't want to do that, and there are ways to archive, by the way, everything that you've done in the past so you don't lose it yourself personally, then I would just ask that you be mindful as you move forward and use these platforms as tools to serve you as opposed to chasing the dragon and serving a master, because you need to understand that that master is an artificial brain that doesn't exist and does not care about you or your children. It would be like a hammer.
By the way, I love how he's like, it used to be different. You could make content and people would find it. It's like, my brother in Christ, how do you think people found that content? There were algorithms back then too.
With sentience. It's a terrifying thought. Guess what? That hammer would be more scared of Instagram and TikTok. That's the world that we're living in. So clean slate, wipe it. If you feel like this is something you've been wanting to do, I can't tell you how many comments we get, especially people who are concerned with politics, saying, I want to have an...
I do have another theory about what this is all about that I'll share after we finish this video.
Impact, but my God, It's just stressful, and then I have to go off the grid. Here's a way to do it. Start now.
I have to go off the grid. Steven, are you running away from like paying child support or something? Like you're gonna go live in the middle of the woods so you don't have to like the feds can't track you down?
Moving forward, today, it's January. What's the date today? January 11th. Clean slate, and you start dominating these platforms out there so that they fall in line in service to you. You're not just something they sell to someone who doesn't know you and doesn't care about you. That's what Clean Slate is. Whether you choose to wipe everything, one post, hashtag Clean Slate, or you can include hashtag Clean Slate in your timelines as they exist, and as you move forward, decide that
I don't think he's selling prepper
you're going to take
crap.
control of this. And outside of that, yep, just so you know, not only is the show coming back on the 22nd, we never really take breaks. We've had the undercover unit here, but pissing off the most powerful people in the world. If you thought the Nashville Manifesto was something that is child's play compared to this, we have to aim once and aim right.
Yeah,
They're out there working on it right now. So we'll have a lot of those coming up when the show comes back daily on the 22nd. But we'll also have Monday, another black and white and the gray issues, where I sat down with two black women and just talked about everything for about an hour and a half. Wednesday, Gerald and Alex Jones, they did an apologetics episode. And we actually have a special Nick DiPaolo 30-minute stand-up special as the OG on Friday. And then we're going to have, once we get the final go-ahead here from legal on the undercover stories that, hey, none of this.
Once we get the go-ahead from legal, bro, did you fuck around and break some laws?
This would make sense business-wise. Change my mind? Absolutely not. That's costly. Doesn't appeal to you. Black and white, white guy, you're just going to go into a barbershop and talk with people? Does not make sense. Alex Jones and Gerald Morgan doing an episode on apologetics for an hour plus wouldn't make sense. You guys let us know. The undercover unit does not make sense. If you're just trying to appeal to that algorithm, click, 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 click. You're better off posting an old Andrew Dice Clay hilarious stand-up clip and not giving credit. But we want to provide this to you. And
he's saying that if he made this content and just put it out there without like his mug club support, like they wouldn't make enough money to continue operating, which is probably true. But also I'm pretty sure he makes like somewhere between like $10,000 to $15,000 a month off of YouTube alone.
You, not some artificial learning machine that seems to get dumber or more evil by the day, will determine what it is that we do. And I just ask that you consider not allowing it to determine what you do going forward. This is not an answer to everything. I get that. But it's been heavy on my heart, and hopefully it is a helpful first step. Hashtag Clean Slate.
He does sell My Patriot Supply.
.com/Clean Slate for the tools available to you if you want to do so. I'm going to see you very soon here on this channel. Really looking forward to it. This is my home. I love being here. And here's a little bit of a taste of what we've been up to and what's coming up next week. Thank you. Mug Club cannot be bought, sold, or bargained with. That's the reputation. The people who want to silence you, who want to dictate what you hear, well, guess what? They can't deplatform us all.
I mean, they can. That is technically something they can do.
Full-fledged network, and the announcements we're about to make.
Troy, you gotta whisper it to a mod. I think Irked is in chat.
The reason that they are scared, and they should be. Because wait till you see what's next.
How is that racist? It's not just black people who are on welfare.
Would you say sex trafficking? Mm-hmm. Okay. You're gonna have to give what?
Yes.
Now, in every industry, there's often a person who people think is the man. And then behind the scenes, there's the guy. In the world of stand-up comedy, for decades, that guy is Nick DiPaolo.
Ooh, we have a videotape of Trump saying he likes to grab what Hillary doesn't?
Been awesome, and we're going to Alex's home.
Alex, thanks for joining me again.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
There's no subject more important than our eternal souls and the fact that we are eternal beings made by God.
I think maybe right before he went on, he saw this reel and just realized how pathetic it looks. Wait, the name of the show
Beings made by God.
is Gerald Apologizes? Apologetics? Why? Why would you call it that? This is so bad.
You're essentially threatening that you are going to publish this in any event, and I am telling you that if you do that, you do it at your peril.
What we do going forward, including script series, other undercover projects that we are working on, none of it happens without you.
Wait, was that Steven? Who was this?
Do going forward, including script series, other undercover projects that
Wait, there's gonna be an animated. Oh God. Steven Crowder's doing an animated
we are working
series.
on, none of it happens
Okay, this is Steven.
without you. Hold on to your butts.
$89 to get a mug. Jesus. Okay. So I told you all that I had a plan. Right? Or not a plan, but I had an idea that I hadn't floated earlier that might have something to do with it. And that is the story that dropped a few days ago. That Rumble is part of an active and ongoing SEC violation. The SEC confirmed to Wired that the financial regulator has launched an investigation involving Rumble, a free speech platform. The nature of the probe remains unknown. So, the Securities and Exchange Commission essentially investigates, financial crimes. And it could very well be, and this is my speculation. I have no inside baseball on this. It could be that Rumble may or may not have been padding their analytic numbers. Because I remember a while ago, I think Matt Leck on the Majority Report pointed out that Steven Crowder's analytics for Louder with Crowder on Rumble were very weird and seemed to be dropping off precipitously, which tends to, I think, be the case the longer Rumble exists. And so my guess might be, if I'm putting all of this together, yeah, Matt Binder did a good job talking about this too. That essentially Rumble has been feeding content creators wrong stats in order to convince them to come over. Maybe they're botting, maybe they're just padding the numbers, I don't know. But it would not surprise me if this was the case, and if Steven maybe got some inside baseball, as he is one of the larger content creators on there. He might be extremely desperate to get more people over to his Louder with Crowder site. Maybe this is coming from a point of desperation related to his entire media operation that he is going out on a limb to try and get off the ground using Alex Jones and Nick DiPaolo. Okay? So I think that could also be the case. It's either something's coming out about his divorce, or it's Rumble financial crimes being confirmed to him, or like this is just some tactic to like I genuinely don't know. Like try and pull his audience and isolate his audience away from like more mainstream conservative outlets like Daily Wire. Yeah, like he wants to build his own, essentially his own social media bubble, with the Louder with Crowder brand, you know? His Clean Slate is just him getting even chuddier. Oh yeah, 100%. He's gonna double down until his life is in shambles, which it kind of already is. Well, how we doing? You're saying he wants an echo chamber? Yeah, exactly. He should have... Oh, man, if he had taken that Daily Wire deal, he would have been, like... he would have been gravy. Like, I don't know what went through his mind that he thought he was such a big, hot commodity that he shouldn't take that deal. That was ridiculous. Like, even if you, like, acknowledge, like, it's only for, like... It only would have been, like, 4 years, 5 years. And then he could have gotten out of that contract and done even bigger things with the tens of millions of dollars he made. He's destroying his career. Yeah. I don't think it's a tactic. Dude was scared. He was shaking in his boots. Well, I think it's a tactic. I think it's a tactic to get ahead of something. What that something is that he's scared of, I don't know, but I agree with you. It's coming from a place of fear.